We have a special surprise for you today, yet a familiar voice. The producer of Treasure Hunt in the Word has joined us today to talk about what God has been teaching him recently. As most of you know, this is my son, David Earley, who has worked so hard to make this podcast a reality. David, where in God's treasure box of his Word has he led you this week?
Paul, an apostle, sent by Jesus Christ to the church in Galatia, said, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Being a homeschooler, I have long known and learned from God's creation and our zoology books that mosquitoes only lay eggs and develop in still and calm waters. If they were to be laid in a rushing stream, they would be swept away and damaged. However, when the waters are stagnant, the eggs can hatch and develop into larvae, and then adult mosquitoes, which then in turn breed and produce even more eggs. This came to my mind the other day when I was helping my sister take care of a farm for her homeschool family who had gone on vacation. They told us to empty out the different water containers and buckets around the farm when they got dirty or needed refreshing. When we got there, one of the horse troughs looked clear enough to drink out of, but on closer inspection, we could see hundreds upon hundreds of what looked like mosquito larvae. It was revolting, and we promptly dumped out the water and replaced it with clean and fresh water from the spigot. That characteristic of mosquitoes laying their eggs in still waters reminded me of one attribute I have seen in myself, in my own life, and have been working to weed out, which is apathy. Apathy is the manner of not caring, being stagnant in a way. Some days my spiritual life is just stagnant, like my Bible collecting dust. On those days, when I'm not actively pursuing Christ and growing in intimacy with our Lord, that is where Satan wants me. Those are the conditions he seeks out, because when we are not close to God and not actively receiving renewal from him, we are candidates for strongholds to be planted in us. These strongholds develop and can breed even more strongholds. When we are like a puddle of a dried up stream, still and not being constantly fed by the living water of Jesus Christ, Satan can plant these strongholds into our lives. They can be as inconspicuous as a bad attitude or as utterly consuming as an addiction. Apathy, or a manner of being stagnant, is the gateway to these strongholds, to become embedded into our lives. What needs to be done about this is that when we see that Satan has planted these habits and addictions into us, we can be washed clean by Jesus and his constant renewal of our souls. When we are with him in his presence, we are renewed and our lives can become cleansed from those parasites. Even if they do hang on, there is only so much time Satan can stand against the purity and light of Jesus Christ. Don't be a stagnant pool of water that is left from a dried up stream, but be a river of flowing water stemming from the well that will never run dry. Then you can be continually renewed by God in what he has for your life.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com and check out our new website. You can find the address in the description below. I'm Carla Earley, and thanks for listening. And remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.